Hi, and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Christina, and I'm the founder of Until They're All Safe, a space built from lived experience and fierce love for families just like yours. Today, we're going to talk about something that most people are too afraid to name out loud: what it really feels like to co parent with someone who is manipulative, controlling, and emotionally abusive. Let's be honest, this isn't just parenting. This is survival. And you deserve more than the generic advice or gaslighting from systems that don't understand. I'm going to walk you through how to get through it. Not perfectly, but powerfully. Let's be clear right from the beginning. You're not just co parenting, you are managing chaos. You're dealing with someone who rewrites history, flips the script, and uses your child like a chess piece in their game of control. That's not parenting, it's psychological warfare. And if no one has said it to you yet, let me be the first. You're not crazy. You're in a battle. And pretending traditional parenting advice will work here, that's like bringing a paper shield to a firestorm. Today, we toss the paper shield and we start building real protection. Here's what we're walking through today. By the end of this webinar, you will understand the 5 biggest red flags that signal this is not a healthy co-parenting dynamic. Why the advice most professionals give actually backfires in your situation. What to start documenting right now, even if you haven't left yet or you're not in court yet. How manipulators behave in court and why they often fool the system. And most importantly, the 3-step survival strategy that helped me and has now helped hundreds of other moms reclaim their peace. You're not going to leave here overwhelmed. You're going to leave here equipped. Before we dive into the hard stuff, I want to say something that might make your shoulders drop for the first time in a little while. You are not alone. If your co-parent gaslights you, rewrites events, manipulates your child, or uses the court system as a weapon, you are not imagining it. You are not overreacting. You are being systematically destabilized. And I need you to hear this loud and clear. You are not the problem. There are thousands of women walking this same path with you, and there is a way out. Not a magic fix, but a real strategy that works. Let's talk about one of the earliest red flags that we see: gaslighting. It can sound innocent, even subtle. I never said that. You're being dramatic. You're imagining things. You're making things up. You're too emotional. But over time, these moments build. And suddenly you're second guessing your memory, your sense of identity. You feel foggy, disoriented, or unsure of yourself. That's not by accident. That is a calculated move to break your trust in your own mind. And if they can do that, they can control your reality. Here's what this looks like in real life. You clearly tell him the pickup time is 5 p.m. He shows up almost 2 hours late. Then he tells the court you never gave him a time. And you start questioning yourself. Did I say that? Maybe I forgot, until you find the message that you sent him telling him that the pickup time was 5 p.m. And this is why documentation is not optional. It's your tether to the truth. It keeps you grounded in what actually happened, not the version that they're trying to spin. Let's move to another brutal reality. Some people don't just co-parent. They use the legal system to keep abusing you. False reports, emergency filings, motions you weren't expecting. It's not about the kids, it's about power. And let's be real, this is where so many moms break down because the system is supposed to protect, not re-traumatize. But when your co-parent is using court like a game board, Your survival means learning how to play smart, not fair. I've seen moms dragged into court 3 times in 6 months, emergency custody filings, false CPS reports, all completely baseless. And even though the court didn't uphold the accusations, now there's a paper trail, and that stigma can follow you. This is why strategy matters more than being right. The truth doesn't always speak for itself, but a calm, documented, consistent response, that changes everything. This one, for me, really cuts deep. They turn your child into the go-between. Tell your mom I said no. Ask your dad if he's paying child support. Coaching the child to report back to them on what's happening in the other parent's home. And bringing adult issues into the child's world, not to inform them, but to twist them, to make you the enemy, to create confusion, guilt, and even fear. This is not miscommunication. This is abuse. Imagine your child coming home with big, sad eyes and saying, Daddy said you're mad at him, and that's why we can't go to the zoo. You never said that. You simply followed the court order. But now your child thinks you're the one ruining things. And this is the silent damage, the kind that doesn't show up in a file, but shows up in your child's heart. And that is why you need tools to protect them, not just yourself. This one, this is how they keep you off balance. They give you silence when you need answers, and then a flood of messages when you ask a question. It's either crickets or complete chaos. And then they cherry pick what to show the court: out of context screenshots, twisted timelines, selective proof. Communication becomes a trap. It's not random, it's a control tactic. Let's say you ask a simple question about school pickup. They respond with 19 hostile text messages in 10 minutes. Then they screenshot your final message, maybe the one where you're frustrated, and that's what they bring to court. Suddenly, you look like the aggressor. This isn't messy communication. This is strategic chaos. And it's why boundaries and documentation must go hand in hand. This one for me really stings because the person you know behind closed doors, the one who screams, manipulates, or vanishes, they don't show up in court. No, they show up clean cut, calm, and maybe even charming. They'll quote trendy therapy terms, they'll smile, and there you are, exhausted, shaking, full of fear, and emotional. And the judge sees a calm dad and an overwhelmed mom. And unless you prepare, the court believes the mask. He walks into court with printed emails, a color-coded binder, and a smooth story. You walk in barely holding yourself together because you've been in this storm of chaos. The judge doesn't see the storm. They see snapshots. And that's why we have to guide them, not with drama, but with clear, consistent facts, receipts. They speak louder than tears. And here's where many parents get misled. We're told to be the bigger person. Don't speak negatively. Just use a co-parenting app. Communicate better. That advice is fine for people co-parenting with someone stable. But in your situation, it can actually make things worse because silence gets used against you and kindness gets exploited. Calm responses get manipulated. This isn't about being nice. It's about being safe. Let me tell you something that most attorneys won't. Court is not about who has the saddest story. It's about who has the most consistent, documented pattern. Judges do not have time for drama. They want clarity. You don't need to cry harder. You need to be clearer. You need to remain calm and show the judge that you are the stable parent. You can do that, and I'll show you how. You don't need to wait for court to start documenting. Start now. Save every text, screenshot contradictions, note late pickups, log every missed phone call. Also document your efforts, your calm responses, your attempts to actually co-parent. This becomes your protection. Judges want patterns, not paragraphs. Let your records tell the story. Here's an example. This is why documentation is always important. Before documentation, you would say, he's always late. And your lawyer just kind of shrugs. It's hearsay. After you start documenting, you show 13 documented late pickups, each one time stamped, each followed by notes from your child's teacher for your child's behavior the next day. Acted out at school, tearful, disconnected. Suddenly, your lawyer leans forward and says, now we have a case. That's the difference between feeling powerless and walking in with receipts. They win by staying calm while you react. They smile while you shake in fear. They hide behind charisma and silence while you fumble for your words. And the court, unless guided carefully, believes this illusion. You don't need to match their performance. You just need to remain calm in court and map out the pattern. Your story needs structure to be heard. The 3 phases, my 3-step framework is document, detach, defend. You're going to document what matters, detach from the chaos, and defend your child with strategy and clarity. This is how I survived. It's how I protected my kids, and it's how you're going to take your power back. Let me walk you through each piece. The document phase is keeping track of logs, patterns, and legal proof. In this phase, you're going to learn how to build court-ready logs, organize screenshots without overwhelm, and build a timeline that makes judges see the pattern. To detach, we're going to use and teach you nervous system tools so you can remain calm in court and stop taking the bait. We'll teach you boundary scripts and how to protect your peace without looking uncooperative. And in the defend phase, we'll work through courtroom prep, legal language, and mindset work. Here, we're going to prepare your presence. We're going to use strong legal language, and we're going to educate you on what to expect in court and how to walk in like someone who knows what you're doing. This framework changes everything. This is your road out. You are not unstable. You're not unprotected, and you're not too emotional. You are under attack, and that ends now. This is the road out, and it's not going to be easy. It hasn't been easy up until this point, and it's not going to be instant, but it is possible. And I'll walk with you the whole way while you build the foundation of safety for your family. If this hits home, if you saw your life in these slides, then the co-parenting through manipulation course was built for you. It's not just theory, it's strategy, step-by-step videos, templates you can copy and paste, scripts for attorneys and timelines for court, and tools to help your nervous system stop living in survival mode. You don't have to do this alone. We also have options where we can help you create your pro se case, where if you don't have the funds to hire an attorney, then we can help you put your legal documents together and put all of your evidence together. These tools and these resources do have a cost when you see them on our website. However, if you are unable to afford these tools, we do offer fees on a sliding scale and do have scholarships for families that are not able to afford the services. Please reach out to me directly by sending me an email. You've probably received multiple from me by now. Simply hit the reply button and just ask for information on the scholarships, and I will send it over to you. This is your reminder again. You are not alone. You are not too much. You are not too late. You are not broken. You are rising. This community, it was built for people just like you, not for the version of you that holds it all together, but for the one who is exhausted and brave and still here. Let's walk this together. Your story's not over. It's just starting to get stronger.